Max, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you having me on. Jared Lloyd, go ahead and start the questions.
Hey, Max.
Just
got a chance to talk to Caleb, and I got wondering about when you bring in a guy from a that's a transfer guy like Caleb is or Jacob is, or some of these guys that are transfers from other D1 schools. What difference is that? How different is that to have those guys added to the defense than someone who's coming in fresh from high school?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, being at a different program, all of our transfers, they bring a different aspect of to our team. Whether it be, the Nakua brothers, both from some Pac-12 schools, as well as Caleb from Oregon State. I mean, it's just the game is kind of run differently in these other programs, and I mean, they kind of bring a little bit of what they've got with their programs, and they just add it to what we've got here. And I think we find that balance. And I mean, a lot of the transfer guys have came in and made some big plays for us. And I mean, they got a different, mentality. They're, they kind of already been through it a little bit more than somebody right out of high school. So it's nice having those guys on our team.
How big is it and how important is it to get their buy-in, get them feeling comfortable, get them, so they can perform at a high level and not be worried about, the being in that new situation?
Yeah, I mean, I think it happens quick with most of the transfer guys. They come in and they kind of get a feel for what Kalani is like, what our team culture is like. And I think a lot of them buy in quickly. It's something that us as BYU football players have been going through for however long we've been here. And I think they see that and they see, they can take that and, work with the culture and, have success on and off the field. So I think I don't think it's a big issue for a lot of the transfer guys. They come in and they kind of they do what they need to do.
Thanks.
Yep. Got it.
Okay, next we have questions from Jay Drew.
Hey, Max, last year when you guys played Boise, they obviously weren't at full strength. They went through a couple of quarterbacks. You guys, had the fairly easy time up there. Does that motivate you guys this year to maybe prove that last year wasn't a fluke because Boise was shorthanded?
I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of how we've been taking every game is, you can't look at the past success and just assume that we are that team. We're a totally different team than we were last year. They're a totally different team. They got different guys going to play. But, I mean, I think it's just going to be a matter of, coming in the same way we've been coming in every game this season, especially Boise State. They are a close rival to us, and it's always going to be a big game each year that we play them. So I think we want to get after them, similar to what we did last year. I think we just want to, make a point that we are legit. It wasn't a fluke last year. So.
And then the second question, you guys have played all 5 night games. They've played at least 2 day games. Doesn't matter, and this is a day game. Does that matter at all? Does that give a team an advantage, or is it just football no matter when it's played?
People have been joking around. I read stuff saying, BYU definitely does a lot better at nights and whatnot. But I think, this year with the group of guys we've got, it won't matter to us whether it's an evening game, whether it's an afternoon game, a late night game. I think we'll come in and we'll take care of business the way we know how, regardless of what time the game's at. But I think we're ready for an afternoon game. It would be nice to have more of our Saturday, but more time to focus. It'll be a different schedule for all of us. You don't get that. A lot of us take a couple hours throughout the day on a Saturday when we have a 8 o'clock game. So it's going to be a lot faster pace. The weekend's going to go a lot differently, but I think we're prepared for it. We like to think we're a little professional about it. So, I mean, that's just, you got to adapt.
Okay, we have a question from Sean Walker and then Mitch Harper.
Yeah, Max, just to follow that up a little bit, can you kind of I'm obviously not trying to get into like game prep and game planning and that kind of thing, but can you kind of walk us through a little bit what Saturdays are like for you guys when because you do so often have kind of those 8 o'clock local time kicks. ESPN loves you in the 10 p.m. East Coast window and that kind of thing. So, do you anticipate, like, is there going to be kind of just changes with, like, how you guys deal with things, moving the game up so much, I guess?
Yeah,
Are there any big gaps, I guess, is what I'm asking, in your usual Saturday?
Yeah, like going off of what I was saying before, we've been playing this game and preparing for so many games throughout our career. It's kind of just it's got to be second nature at this point, whether we're playing at 8 o'clock or 2 o'clock, or whenever we're playing. A lot of Saturdays, most times when we got an evening game and spent watching film, resting up, eating, preparing for the game, and having half the time we're gonna have is gonna be definitely different, but I think we'll be ready to step in and take care of business whenever we need to. So,
How motivated do you think Boise State's going to come after you guys? I mean, you've obviously got that number in front of your name, whatever that means, but also just based off of last year and kind of what you guys did to them.
yeah, I think always this game, like I said earlier, it's going to be a big game for both parties, regardless of where it's at. Who's the ranked opponent? We came in and we beat them when they were ranked a couple years ago. So, there's that's the cool thing about rivalry games. There's never really going to be a surprise. Anything can happen. It could be like last year. It could be like 2 years ago. That's kind of the cool thing about football is you come in and you just react to whatever's going on. But I think we're prepared. Like I've said the last couple of weeks, every game is going to be a dogfight in its own. No games are given to you in college football, so I think we're prepared to come in and play our hearts out.
Max, you guys are ranked number 10 in the major polls. How beneficial was last year's rise for you guys do you feel like this is just kind of like business as usual? It's not phasing you guys because of that experience last year?
It definitely prepared us, but obviously, given the situation with last year, everything kind of seemed a little bit off with teams not playing and whatnot. So it does feel a little bit more real, when it comes down to it. Being ranked top 10 in the country, with everybody else playing at their normal schedules. So it is a big deal to us. We take pride in being ranked high, and we just want to defend that ranking. So it's just as simple as that.
You mentioned a few moments ago that game 2 years ago. There's kind of some parallels to this year's game and that one, but kind of on the flip side, where Boise comes in with the record that's a losing record, and BYU's now the undefeated nationally ranked team. Is that something maybe for upperclassmen like yourself that were part of that game? Is that a message you're saying, like, hey, this is a rivalry, this is something that can factor into this thing?
Absolutely. I think seeing how we prepared for that game, coming in as underdogs, I think if you don't think they're coming in the same way, you're kind of dumb in a sense. Like they are coming into this game expecting to win just as much as we were 2 years ago. Like I said, it's always going to be a hard game in college football to win, and coming out with a win in whatever fashion is impressive.
Hey, Max, thanks for joining us today. We appreciate your time.
Of course. Yep. Have a good one.
Thanks, everyone. Appreciate you jumping on the call today. Again, if you're planning on going to Baylor, if you'll drop Brett a note so he's aware you're going.
By when does he have to know?
I know he's trying to submit something to them tomorrow.